Well, let's talk about the many councils around the country that are planning to follow in the triumphant footsteps of Epping Forest District Council to the north of London, where, of course, we've seen a lot of angry protests well, I say angry, but peaceful protests by the local community saying we don't want hundreds of asylum seekers, foreigners, mainly young men, about whom we know nothing, in our midst, particularly as two of them have been charged with serious sexual assault. That tends to enrage local communities. You can't blame them, can you? It's not a story unique to Epping. It's happening all over the country. So lots and lots of local authorities, lots of councils are taking inspiration from Epping's triumph victory in the High Court a couple of days ago, and they're going to follow suit. One council that is considering it is a Labour-run council. I should say that quite a few of the councillors who are going to copy Epping and go to court to have their asylum seeker hotels are Labour councils. So this goes beyond politics and beyond sort of slavish following of your Labour government. So trouble from all sides for Starmer and his incompetent crew. We're going to talk now to a councillor in Wirral who's a Conservative councillor, but I do believe that they're a Labour administration. So welcome to the show to Max Booth. Hello, Max.
Hi Kev, how are you?
I'm good. Am I right? So you're a Tory councillor, but the administration up there is Labour. And are they planning to follow Epping by going to court to try and get your asylum seeker hotel closed down?
So yes, we've got no overall control in our council, but it's led by Labour. Yeah, Labour have the council leadership.
Right.
And the hotel in question is in my ward. So the ward I represent is where this hotel in question is, in the Wirral, the former Holiday Inn Express. So we have a inclination from our legal team and our leader of the council, who is Labour, in all fairness to her, be looking to follow in Epping's fashion and challenge this at the highest possible powers.
So Max, you see the Holiday, you had a Holiday Inn there. About how many migrants are living there?
So it's quite a fluid situation. So we believe there is still some families in the hotel, because it's been a family hotel since about 2021 for women and children and families. And then
asylum seekers, though, yeah?
Asylum seekers, yes, asylum seekers. So we don't know the numbers, which is part of the problem, is that the government foisted this on us 3 weeks ago. And we didn't have any idea on the numbers. We didn't know the time frames. We didn't know where the families would be moved to. It was so sudden without any consultation, and bearing in mind it was actually part of the Home Office minister, and she's in Wallasey constituency, which is the neighbouring constituency to Wirral West, where this is all taking place.
So hang on a second, mate. You said 3 weeks ago. How long have you had? How long has the Holiday Inn been an asylum seeker hotel?
5 years. So it was the back of COVID.
So what happened 3 weeks ago? Sorry, I'm not quite following you.
So the government put forward an intention to change it from families to single males.
Ah, I see.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So this was without any consultation. This is in a conservation area. We've got the Royal Liverpool Golf Club 5 minutes down the road, which holds the Open every few years. It's just so unsuitable. As you know, I represent a Victorian, Edwardian seaside town. This is not a city. This is not an urban centre. This is not an industrial heartland. It's a seaside town with grammar schools, golf courses, beautiful high streets. And the families, in all fairness to them, weren't causing us any problems. They were integrating in the local primary schools, in the local church groups and things. And now the government have came in 3 weeks ago and said, nope, we want to change how we're doing all of this.
So at the moment, the Holiday Inn, as it was, has for 5 years now been full of women and children, families of asylum seekers, yeah?
It was men originally for the first year, so May 2020 through till 2021 it was men, but that was during lockdown, and it was on the back end COVID. Right. They then changed it to families, which, as I said, of course, there's no major problems.
Right.
And we are now at the position of no families, no men. We want it back to be a hotel for the people in the Wirral and Hoylake.
Just generally, Max, have you heard through the grapevine perhaps whether or not in your area the government's trying to commandeer what they call houses of multiple occupation, HMOs, maybe other accommodation for migrants? Because they put out an appeal today for 5,000 houses. They are desperately, I know that they are commandeering these kind of properties all over the country. Any of that going on in your area?
Yeah, Kev, I think it'd be fair to say rumourville is in overdrive, especially from yesterday. I haven't heard anything concrete, but the Wirral, as most places, is very diverse. We go from, very rural areas, towns and villages, to very urban centres, which would accommodate those HMO facilities. We had the government talking about former student accommodation, these old tower blocks, and then we find out this morning that the numbers in hotels has gone up 8%. So there's lots of mixed messaging. We're not getting anything clear from central government, which is why we are grateful to this current council administration for so far standing in lockstep with us as ward councillors and the people we represent and pay their taxes, that they're willing to challenge this. And that was elevated after the news yesterday in Epping.
Yeah. So the Wirral could well be off to court to get a ruling, presumably to close the whole place down, because this looks as if, Max, it's going to happen all over the country. There are dozens of councils saying we're going to do this, and I think there's two reasons that I think people like yourself and local communities are upset. They're upset because they never get told anything. This is always done in a secret way. Even the commandeering of HMOs, houses of multiple occupation, is being done very, very secretly. I spoke to a Portsmouth councillor a couple of days ago. He said, we've just found out, they never told us, that they've actually requisitioned 55 houses around Portsmouth. They've already got several hotels there full of asylum seekers. 55 houses will constitute about 500 more migrants. So it's the secrecy with which the government goes about these things that I think is causing problems. And also the other problem, perhaps because you've got women and children in your local hotel, but around the country, one of the problems is a lot of these asylum seekers, or hundreds of them, are being, and more of them are being charged with serious criminal offences, some of them sexual. This kind of information is likely to enrage, worry, and infuriate local communities, isn't it?
100%. I mean, we were clear from the outset when we first found out about this proposed change of use 3 weeks ago that we don't serve Serco, we don't serve the government, we don't serve the council, and the Conservative Party is a very poor second place in this. We serve the people of Hoylake and Mells and the Wirral wider, hence why we've been challenging this in various meetings with the head of the legal team. We've met with the leader of the council. We're pushing for this because the lack of transparency has been part of the problem. And as I said earlier, the Labour minister in charge of asylum and that field is in the neighbouring constituency. Wallasey, Angela Regal, she's in the neighbouring constituency. And it's been so underhanded that there was no consultation. We are in a conservation area. They're trying to change it from a hotel to a hostel. So you've got planning grounds for it to be challenged. And of course, the news yesterday in Epping hopefully helps us assemble a case to take it even further and just get to return the hotel for our people.
Yeah, so in this respect then, Max, you've got a Labour-run administration, but the Tories, Labour, I presume most of the councillors are at one on this issue. This sort of goes beyond politics, doesn't it? This goes on. This is about the safety of the local community. It's about government transparency. So, am I right in assuming that the Tories and Labour all feel the same about this?
Yeah, I think so far it has transcended those political boundaries, which is what we wanted. It was never political point scoring. Yeah. It was simply for the benefits and the well-being of the people of Wirral, and hotels are key pillars in any local economy. The only party that's been resistant is the Green Party, which you probably won't be surprised to hear. And they've been at the protests with the Antifa Brigade and things. So But so far, credit to the Labour leader of the council. She is working with us, and hopefully we can keep moving that forward, transcend those political boundaries for the common good of the people we represent.
Well, Max, I wish you all the best, you and the Labour administration, and I hope you do sue the government, and I hope you win. Thank you very much for your time. Good to talk to you. Conservative councillor in the Wirral up there in Liverpool, Max Booth there.